We are trained to look for monsters in the shadows, but true malice often presents as the most helpful person in the room. They hold doors open and offer warm smiles, hiding a chilling detachment behind a mask of ordinary kindness. While your conscious mind sees a sanctuary, your nervous system often detects the threat first. You might feel a sudden, inexplicable tightening in your stomach, or a chill that you immediately try to rationalize away as paranoia. This disconnect happens because the person across from you is operating with a different internal logic. Instead of forming emotional bonds, they are playing a strategic game, viewing your empathy as a tool to be managed. They begin by projecting an image of extreme moral integrity. They will frequently broadcast how much they value honesty or how deeply they despise those who exploit others. This preemptive display of virtue serves a specific purpose. By loudly establishing themselves as a good person early on, they create a bias in your mind. If a conflict arises later, your brain will struggle to blame them, leading you to assume you must be the one at fault. This performance of goodness works as a proactive strike against your intuition, making it harder to trust your own instincts when the behavior eventually shifts. In the early stages of the relationship, they create a sense of intense, rapid intimacy by asking deeply personal questions about your past, your childhood wounds, and your greatest regrets. You feel a rush of connection, believing you found a rare confidant. However, they are using this information to conduct a systematic audit of your psychology. They extract specific insecurities and fears as data points, mapping out exactly where your defenses are weakest. Every concussed fear and unenforced boundary is filed away, eventually becoming structural components of a customized cage designed to be used against you. This data collection ensures that when they choose to exert control, they know exactly which buttons to press to keep you compliant and confused. Eventually, the warmth fades into a cold, inexplicable distance. Then you catch them in a massive, undeniable lie, one that contradicts the very reality they've spent months building. Your heart rate spikes as you gather the courage to present the facts. You expect a human reaction, an explanation, or a moment of remorse. Instead, you encounter a chilling stillness. They don't get flustered. Their voice drops to an unnaturally calm, steady register, watching you with unblinking eyes. They immediately pivot away from their own actions and place your sanity on trial. They ignore the lie entirely, framing your questions as a toxic interrogation. Your reaction becomes the new focus, erasing the original lie. The sudden shift floods your brain with stress hormones, causing your focus to fracture, making you question your memory. By the end of the conversation, the focus has shifted so completely that you find yourself apologizing to them for having noticed their dishonesty in the first place. As you sit there, stunned and disoriented, you might catch a brief, involuntary tell, a subtle smirk that flitters across their face for only a second. This is a signal of the satisfaction they feel from successfully manipulating another person's reality. Seeing your confusion gives them a profound sense of absolute power. They walk away, leaving you in an engineered silence. In the dark, you are left with the haunting thought that perhaps you are the one who is losing your mind. This type of psychological assault leaves no physical evidence, yet it severely traumatizes the central nervous system, leaving the victim in a state of constant high alert. You may experience chronic fatigue, a persistent tightness in your chest, and a sense of emotional numbness as your brain tries to protect itself from the ongoing stress. The most devastating result is the erosion of your own perception. You stop trusting your eyes and your memory. To avoid the pain of constant conflict, your brain may even begin rewriting memories of the abuse, convincing you that you were the one to blame, or that the situation wasn't that bad. The manipulator has successfully moved the burden of their actions onto you. They commit the cruelties, and you are left to carry the weight of the guilt. If these patterns sound familiar, it is important to understand that your confusion is a result of these specific mechanics. It is not a reflection of your intelligence or your character. Recovery begins by learning to see these tactics for what they are. While naming the behavior doesn't erase the harm instantly, it is the essential first step in pulling the manipulator out of the shadows and back into the light. The next time they try to shift the blame, you can choose to step away from the argument. You do not need to beg for an explanation they are incapable of giving, or defend yourself against an accusation that isn't true. Your empathy is a gift, but it is not an obligation. By recognizing these patterns, you can begin to reclaim your reality and protect your peace of mind.